I never believed in omens. That was more my brother's thing. Superstitions, signs, gut feelings. I always wrote them off. But now, years later, there's not a single night I sleep without seeing that truck stop in my mind. The silence, the lights, the way the fog clung to the highway like it didn't want us to leave. It started with a flat tire. We were driving cross-country, me and 4 others. Strangers mostly. Some rideshare app thing I joined to save gas. A quiet woman named Lena, a couple Jared and Kylie, and this old ex-military guy named Pete. We were headed west, and around midnight, somewhere in Nevada, the car gave out. Middle of nowhere, no signal, cold enough that you could see your breath. That's when we saw the lights, a glow in the distance. We walked maybe half a mile and stumbled onto it. A massive truck stop, oddly pristine for a place so far off any real road. No people in sight, but the lights were on. A whole row of semi-trucks lined up neatly, all dark and silent. Looks abandoned, Jared muttered, peering into the diner windows. But it wasn't. The electricity was running. Lights flickering, soda machines humming softly. It just felt empty, like something had been there until just before we arrived. Pete jiggled the door to the diner, and it opened with a low metallic groan. Inside, everything was set tables clean, menus on counters, even a half-filled coffee pot still warm, like the staff had just stepped away for a smoke break 10 years ago and never came back. We decided to wait until morning. No signal, no passing cars, and the place at least had shelter. We gathered in the diner, trying to make sense of it, but nobody had answers. Lena sat near the windows staring at the trucks. Jared and Kaylee bickered quietly, tension already rising. Pete stood guard near the door. Me? I kept glancing at the hallway leading to the bathrooms. Something about it felt wrong. Too long. Too quiet. Around 2 a.m., the first noise came. A soft clicking, like metal tapping against metal. Pete went outside to check. Said it was just the wind playing with a loose chain on one of the trucks, but I noticed something. The trucks, they'd shifted. Not by much. Just not in the exact formation they were before. One had its headlights facing us now. I told myself I was imagining it. The second night was worse. We had found a small office in the back with some old sleeping bags and space heaters. The plan was to take turns resting. Pete offered to stay up first. Around 3 a.m., I woke up to the sound of static, loud, broken, like a radio trying to lock onto a signal. I followed the noise into the main area. Pete was staring at the CB radio behind the counter, his hand frozen above the dial. "It's been talking," he whispered. I asked him what he meant. "I don't know. I thought it was interference, but then it said my name." The static screeched again. Then a voice garbled, mechanical, but clear enough. "Peter, you left me." He backed away, pale. I yanked the cord out. Silence. The rest of the group didn't believe us, said it was stress, cold, exhaustion, but I saw the way Lena looked at the trucks after that, like she knew something, or remembered something she didn't want to. That morning, we found tire tracks, fresh ones, not ours. The third night, Pete was gone. I woke up, and his sleeping bag was empty. We searched the entire stop, nothing. No blood, no signs of struggle, just gone. Jared swore he heard an engine rev in the middle of the night, but the trucks were still, silent. Lena stood near one of them for hours, just staring, not moving. By now, even Kaylee was shaken. She tried the landline phones, dead. Then the power flickered, and all the truck headlights blinked on for a second, just enough to bathe the whole lot in that harsh mechanical light. Then out again. "Something's watching us," Lena said softly. "They're not off." I asked her what she meant. She didn't answer. That night I heard something that still chills me. The sound of footsteps, slow, heavy, but metallic, walking just outside the diner. When I looked out the window, I saw one of the trucks, its cab door was open. I know it was closed earlier. The fourth day, Jared wanted to leave. He said we should walk in any direction until we hit civilization. But Lena, she wasn't Lena anymore. Her voice was slower. She barely blinked, and she kept drawing something on napkins, these jagged geometric shapes. When I asked her, she just muttered, "They're patterns. That's how they talk." That night it started. The ground vibrated around 1:40 a.m. First, just a faint hum. then louder. Kaylee screamed, her voice echoing across the silent diner. Outside, every single truck had turned on, lights beaming, engines roaring, but no drivers. Then they moved. They didn't roll or drive. They shifted, like animals, rising slightly off their wheels, tilting, stretching. I don't even know how to describe it. Their hoods snapped open like jaws. Exhaust pipes hissed like breath. One smashed into the glass of the front diner wall. We ran to the back office, barricaded ourselves. Jared held Kaylee while she sobbed. I could hear the trucks circling the building, not fast, not like a chase, slow, like they were waiting. Lena was silent the entire time, and then she stood up and whispered, "They don't want all of us, just the ones who listen." She walked to the door and opened it. Before Jared could stop her, she was gone. I caught one glimpse. One of the trucks had opened its door. Inside, something glowed blue. She stepped in, smiling. We didn't sleep that night. Morning came. No Lena, no trucks, just quiet. And the lot looked different. The tracks were gone. The damage to the diner wall, like it never happened. Jared lost it. He blamed me, said I should have stopped her, that none of this was real, that we were trapped in some psychological experiment, maybe a military test. I didn't argue. What could I say? That night, he tried to run, said he was taking Kaylee and walking out. I begged them not to, but he said he'd rather die in the desert than stay another hour. They never came back. I heard the engines again around 4 a.m., just for a few seconds, then silence. I was alone. The fifth day blurred. I barely moved. Tried the radio again. All I got was static. Sometimes I think I hear breathing in it. Sometimes it whispers my name. That night, I saw something I still can't explain. A truck, just one, pulled up directly outside the diner. Lights off, silent. Its side was covered in marks, like scratchings, hundreds of them, names, including mine. I locked myself in the back and stared at the door all night. The sixth morning, I woke up in my car, no idea how. My phone had one bar, just enough to call for help. A trucker picked me up an hour later. He said he'd been driving that stretch of highway for 20 years and never seen any truck stop where I described. I don't talk about it anymore. Who would believe me? Pete's body was found 6 months later in a canyon 40 miles away. No cause of death, no car, just his boots and a CB radio still clutched in one hand. I looked it up, the pattern Lena kept drawing. It's part of an old signal encryption used by early military satellites. I haven't ridden in a truck since. Can't even stand the sound of diesel engines. But sometimes when I'm driving at night, I'll catch a glimpse of something in the distance. A row of headlights, all turned off, waiting. And sometimes, when I flip on my radio late at night, I hear it again. The static, the breathing, and then my name.